topic for today is how to live with esteem and dignity. What's that mean to you? How to live with esteem and dignity. What is that? What does it mean? What does it mean to you?
It means feeling good about yourself.
Feeling good about yourself. How many of you feel good about yourself? There you go. Attaboy, Brad. Yeah.
Not daily, though. Just
Highs and lows, ups and downs.
Once a month, though.
Whether it rains or whether it shines, right?
Right.
Yeah. Your sense of self is really, really important. You know, and it's important for any human being at any age. You know, how you look at yourself, how you see yourself, how comfortable you are in your own skin. You know, what do you see when you look in the mirror? That kind of concept. What do you see when you look in the mirror, when you look yourself?
Oh, you beautiful doll.
Oh, she sings to herself every morning. I'm quite sure she does.
I know.
What was that? Did you do that, Ron?
No, I just said she reminds me of Friends Mother.
Oh, really?
Her sense of humor, yeah.
Yeah, she always has a one-liner coming at you. It's kind of
A little
fun.
dry, but
It's
fun.
very dry humor, but she'll make you laugh.
Bomb it up.
Oh, you beautiful doll, but that, you know, we're laughing at
That was a
that,
compliment.
but it's
No, there were months when I could use that.
yeah, but what
You
did,
just
what did,
look in the mirror and you smile at yourself.
I laugh at
Sing,
my
oh, you beautiful doll, you great big beautiful doll. The thing that I used to do before I knew I had Parkinson's. Get a bad day, you better get rid of it.
that's a girl.
Can't
See what
always
she,
do it, but most of the time it comes out clear.
yeah. And what she's doing is she's playing the positive note. She's taking the high road, right? Starting the day with humor and positivity, and that's really huge, you know, because what's going on with us in life, not necessarily can we change. Very little in life, particularly with Parkinson's disease, can we change or can we manage? What's the only thing that we can control?
Your attitude.
Yeah, your attitude, right, Brad. Your attitude and how you choose to respond to whatever's going on in your life. You know, you're not going to control the symptoms. You're not going to control the changes. But you can control how you think, and you can control how you feel about yourself, right? So what are some ways that Parkinson's disease can affect, you know, your sense of self, your sense of worth? You know, everything, at least through my eyes, everything for a human being that wants to be emotionally well and positive and confident and happy comes from a sense of worth, a sense of self-worth. I mean, without self-worth, what do you have? How many of you really look at yourself and say, you know, I really matter, I'm really important, I'm worthy? Do you do that? If you don't, try to do that every day on a conscious level. What makes you worthy?
The fact that you're alive.
You're alive. You're gracious to be alive. But what makes you matter?
You have something to contribute for others.
Yeah, for you to have value, you have to have meaning. You know, you have to have a worth. And if you're doing the slightest little thing to contribute, you know, to someone else or to contribute to making the world a better place, and this doesn't have to be huge, mammoth, big things. It can just be exactly what Naomi just did, was just lighten up and laugh and look at things through positive, bright eyes, okay? So you have to realize what makes me matter. What am I doing today, you know, to make the world a better place? Patients and caregivers, husbands and wives, partners, things like that. You help each other, you give each other a helping hand during the course of a day. You matter. You better believe that you matter. My patients, what makes you, why is your caregiver so important? Why do they matter to you? I always roll it around to the caregiver.
I'm making a huge sacrifice for you.
Huge sacrifice for you. How many of you patients agree with that statement that Pete said? A huge sacrifice for you.
Why is it a sacrifice, though? If it's been a partnership right along and things have worked right,
Yeah.
it shouldn't be a sacrifice. It should just be moving on to another.
Yeah, holding
area.
hands and moving forward. Well, I think that what Pete's referring to is sometimes that along the way in the role of a caregiver, you have to give up some things that you might still have if your loved one didn't have Parkinson's, or if you were needed, to focus on them and to meet certain needs during the course of the day. Sacrifice for me is I give it up willfully. You can sacrifice willfully, right? And that's probably where you're coming from. But I think what he's talking about is that they lose some time for themselves. They lose some activities for themselves. They take on additional responsibilities, roles. And this, most often, at least in my eyes, is not necessarily the obvious physical things, right?
I think the big thing is they give up, how would you say it? There's a ton of pressure and stress that goes along with that job. And you can't get rid of it because you're actually fending for two people instead of one, and the other person's dependent upon you. So there's a lot of stress in that job. And that's nothing I'd want to do, but I agree with you. I'd be there and take the stress, but
Well, caregivers tend to be very gracious, at least all the ones in my life. So they don't really feel like they're making sacrifices because they're looking at what can I give, not what am I giving up. That's
you know, it's
the
best,
thing.
Marilyn, if you can share the responsibility with some other help,
Yeah,
some close friends or family members that could come in and give you a week off or something.
yeah. The stress of it, and it all depends what level you're in and how much resources you have in your personal life, but the stress associated with Parkinson's disease is very high. Not only for the person living with the disease, but for the person caring for someone with the disease. Okay, so let's go back to the topic of esteem and dignity. How does this disease affect your sense of esteem? What about it can affect it?
Well, the amount of hugs and kisses from my grandchildren are the idea. They come and visit, they say hello, they hug and kiss, they say goodbye, they say hug and kiss. For me, that's wonderful.
Right.
It just gives me.
So that's your solution.
Still in the running.
Right. That's your solution to how you maintain your esteem, because, knowing that those children love you and they acknowledge you, and then they physically, not all kids want to hug and kiss, so you're lucky,
Well,
right?
kids and grandkids there.
Yeah. I stand there and I say, right here, right here, right here, right here. I stand there and I do it, in public, right? But it can affect your sense of esteem, how you feel about yourself, because in the culture that we live in, if you don't look and act and talk exactly what is considered within normal limits, am I right? That can lower your confidence and lower how you feel about yourself when you're out in a public situation, right? Have you ever noticed that, because of your trauma or your dyskinesia or, your rigidity or the way you walk or your lack of a
Your
smile, that
memory.
people,
Memory.
yeah?
What?
The people, might be looking at you a little longer or doing a double take, right? Don't ever let how other people see you affect how you see yourself. But don't let the physical changes that happen to you because of Parkinson's disease affect your sense of self or your amount of confidence or your ability to just get out there and be impulsive and do anything you want to do within the community. Has that slowed any of you down thinking, because I've had patients along the way that I'm saying, I don't want to go out, I don't want to go and to certain restaurants or whatever, I don't want to go into public places. Try not to let that happen. There's a gentleman that came to Parkinson Place and he said, I will never come there to eat because he says, I don't go anywhere to eat. He said, I only eat at home. He had given up all the men's clubs and all the nice things that he loved to do. It was sad for me because he was really going all over town and having a lovely life. And just because he was worried about spilling a pee, he says, I will not I will not eat in restaurants, I will not go to luncheons, I will not come here and eat. Actually, he's been here because I bugged him until he coming, so he's coming. But your sense of self matters, and always remember, what's my favorite line? You have Parkinson's, Parkinson's does not have you. Okay? You the same? What makes you worthy? What makes you great? What makes you special? Tell me.
Just me.
Just you. Perfect answer. I'll take it. Just me. What about the rest of you?
Just him.
Huh? Just him?
We agree.
We agree. Thank you. I can tell. See, I gave him cookies, Pete. Awesome. Pete says to me now, he asked me if he can have a cookie because 30 minutes after you have a cookie, you start, nodding off.
I saw the bed in the next room.
The bed?
There's a cot right through that door.
Folded.
I know. I signed for it this morning. I signed for the con.
I signed up for it.
Sound tickets.
Just put your name on
I
it.
that bed paid for in a day. Huh? That bed is going in one of the exam rooms so we can do EMGs here. So when you roll, you don't fall on the floor. Yeah.
I was going to say, even though they have Parkinson's, it does not stop them from contributing here, contributing to one another, contributing to their families in ways that they might not have thought of before.
That's right. That's a good point. Maureen always brings good ideas to light. Sometimes when you go along life and everything is kind of status quo, then everything is status quo. But when you're realizing you have to change your thinking and your behavior and your lifestyle, you can really turn into something even better than you were before. Did you know that? I've seen it many, many times in all the years I've been in nursing, that people turn out better people and they learn to do different things and they have a healthier lifestyle and they have a more positive train of thought and they make more of a interactive contribution to the lives of the people around them. And this really can be your goal, right? Do any of you feel better since you've had the disease?
Yeah.
In what way?
I'm more in tune with other people than I was probably prior to my in
What is
certain ways.
What does that mean to you, Brian?
Well, I got to know my wife and daughter better than what I did when I was working. And
Okay.
that's very special. I feel lucky I had that time.
That's a very nice thing to say, because when you're busy working, and it's true of anybody in the workforce, you lose so much time, and now you have the opportunity to spend time with them and share your life with them, and you really can build a loving relationship, a deeper relationship. So that's a real positive thing that's happened to Brad. Right? You did early retirement, I think. Didn't you tell me that, Brad?
I'm sorry?
Did you retire a little earlier than you
Yeah,
had
it's
planned?
quite a bit actually.
Quite a bit. So Brad had to retire, and then he was able to focus on his family life and his personal life. So that's a very important thing. What about the rest of you? To change
It really
anything?
humbles you.
It humbles you.
I think you pay more attention to your health, or somebody pays attention to it.
Yeah, it does humble. It's one of my favorite words, Pete.
Really?
What is humility?
Not think you're good enough.
Huh?
Not think you're good enough, humility.
What does humility mean to you folks? It's just a very simple way of thinking. I need to reach out to the people in my life. I am not perfect by myself.
I'm not better than anybody else.
I'm not better than anybody else.
Something.
I'm not worse than anybody else. I'm just who I am. And I like myself just the way I am. And the ability to ask for help and to be gracious and to be kind and interactive. There's nothing worse than a big mouth bragger, right? Or somebody with an entitlement problem, and they're out there. So I think the need to realize, I can't get through life by myself. I don't think anybody can be successful, and I don't care if you're the biggest, most powerful strongest person in the world. You can't really go through life without holding hands with other people in your life. Don't you agree?
Right.
Why would you want to? Okay? So the ability to say, you know, I'm not perfect, I need to reach out, I need the help of others, all right? Yeah, Peter.
On humility, I was talking to your friend Shelley the other day, my wife and I were, and I said, why is it everybody in America is always, number one is health is important, and number two, money's important. It seems like that's everybody's perfect thing. And she said, well, I'll bet in Sarajevo, the number one thing is saying a lot. Number two is where you're gonna sleep that night,
That's
and where
right.
you're gonna get the next hamburger from.
That's it,
So,
right?
that really humbled me right there.
It's the truth, you know. And the thing is that, you know, the other thing too is your list of priorities. You know, your list of priorities, when you're given a diagnosis, whether it's a neurological diagnosis or anything else, you know, this can adjust my life, this can threaten my life along the way. All right, and then one of the first things that happens to you is that your priorities all of a sudden just come forward, become more on a conscious level. I always just simply say your priorities, if you're given a certain diagnosis in this world, your priorities will literally come up and smack you in your face, right? What are your priorities now at your age? Things that you might never have thought about before. What matters to you? What are your priorities now?
Having my last check, I write balance.
What?
The last check I write out of my account balances. That's my priority.
Use it all up first.
Take nothing with you.
Oh, okay, I got it, yeah. But what is your priority?
Make sure all grandchildren graduated from college.
There you go.
But
There's
now
a
it
mission.
changed to go ahead. That's happened. Now I'm waiting for them all to get married.
There you go. All right. Things that really matter. So many times in life, you know, when you're kind of drifting through life, or you're so busy with the minutia of what's going on around you, that you really don't pay attention to really what is critical, what really matters to you. All right. What gives your life rhyme and reason? All right. That's a great priority as a loving grandfather. All right. What about the rest of you? Your number one priority has to be your life and all the wonderful things in it. Yeah?
Join every day from the start to the beginning, and start over the next day. Join that way.
That's right. I choose to be happy. I choose to enjoy, right? I choose to be involved. I choose to be engaged, right? Your choice. You know, if you want to have esteem, if you want to have dignity, you have to be standing up emotionally. Am I right? Where do you basically live with your thought process? It's in your head. Everything is up here, from here up. Right? You've got to be standing up emotionally to be able to stand up with a certain amount of esteem and confidence and control and joy and the ability to face the challenges every single day. You got to be standing up. You can't be on where I call your emotional needs. Parkinson's disease for patients and caregivers is very emotional, right?
Yes.
Come on, it's the emotional load or bag, you know, that is actually heavier than the physical load. Am I right? Please agree with me.
Yes. You're right.
Absolutely.
Okay, what makes it heavy? What emotions make it heavy? When I say to you, I want you standing up strong and confident and empowered so that you can look yourself in the mirror and say, you know, I love myself, I'm great, I'm going to face this day with joy and confidence. You got to be standing up. So what are the emotions associated with Parkinson's disease that drag you down?
Frustration.
Frustration, number one answer. I never do a talk on Parkinson's if that word doesn't come up. You're frustrated, right? You're stuck with it. It's not going away.
I find that the frustration can be alleviated with communication, like identifying what it is that's making you frustrated and then finding a solution for it.
It's
We
perfect
we
answer.
over-communicate that.
The same with the anxiety.
It's the same, anything that you're dealing with is challenging you, right? Whether it's frustration, anxiety, number one reason that you deal with stress, is that you sit back and say, what is frustrating me? Because here's my problem, and you're right, Lynn, you identify any problem, no matter what it is. What is frustrating me? What is upsetting me? What is challenging or tormenting me? Here is my problem. Where is my solution? Is my solution attainable? And without sitting down, stopping, thinking about it, and communicating with your loved one, or the one that's causing the frustration, or the one that you're trying to help through a frustration, you're never going to go anywhere. And what was your answer back?
No, I said the anxiety is the same as the frustration.
The anxiety. Frustration, when you got something needling you and upsetting you and tormenting you, then the anxiety comes up and the stress comes up. All right? How does anxiety make you feel? What makes you anxious? Why are you anxious?
Inadequate.
Inadequacy, dependency, what else?
Festivals, a lot of people.
What is it?
Festivals, lots of people.
Makes you
Okay.
anxious, yeah.
Makes you anxious because you have to know your every move and you don't know
Right.
everybody's move.
Going into
Right, putting yourself in a crowd
Yeah.
or in an arena that you can't necessarily, control or
Right.
feel safe in, that's a trigger.
It's better to go early in the morning before the crowd.
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
So
Or
there's your
run.
solution, all right? What makes the rest of you anxious? What
It's a
feels
different one every day.
different feeling every day, right?
Yeah.
This day, this disease is so elusive and it has a mind of its own. All right, you have the physical changes, you have the highs and the lows, and even if you take the same dose of medication, sometimes that medication works better than other days. We all know that, right? So you really can't say, oh, this day's, I started out, I woke up at 8, I took my meds, I had a nice breakfast, today's going to be great. Is that a guarantee? No, it's not, is it? Okay, so the anxiety of when's the other shoe going to drop or something like that can really create something. Or the want to do something and you're all set to go and then all of a sudden it kicks in that you take a nosedive. And aren't able to do it. So anxiety is big. How do you deal with the anxiety? Lynn had the perfect solution. You think about it, you identify it, you seek a solution, you talk about it, okay, and then you follow through with, this is what we're going to do about it. That's the big thing. The big thing is you identify a problem or a stressor or a frustration, and once you realize and define your solution, you've got to do your solution. Brad is anxious with a crowd, so they go early. Done. See? It's fixed.
Whenever we get frustrated or anxious, we stop and figure out what's causing that.
Mm-hmm.
And then we figure out what can we do about it. And then we say, okay, let's try that. Let's start over.
Wow, good.
And we just we start over and
That's funny.
take a deep breath and start over.
And that's another good theory that Lynn is sharing. If you're heading down a road and you're getting more anxious and more stressed and more frustrated, just stop and start over, right?
But figure out what's
Yeah.
causing it.
Right.
Do the best you can, and then change the things you can change, accept what you can't.
Like if you're shuffling, she tells me to stop and start over.
I'll say,
And it works.
stop, take a deep breath. Okay, now mind over muscle.
Mhm.
There you
Because
go.
that's what
Take
it
a big
is,
step.
because the autonomic nervous system isn't functioning properly to tell your muscles how to move automatically, and so it's like mind over muscle.
Yeah.
Right, left.
Or-
Muscle over mind.
Yeah, or check the brain. Yeah, check the brain.
Sometimes if you just take 5 minutes out, sit down or whatever.
Yeah, that helps too, uh-huh.
And then you start over.
Also, I found you can't go through a whole day without fatigue kicking in. And your activity level goes down with the fatigue. Give in and take a rest in the middle of the day.
You're gonna have to pace with this one.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to pace with this because the energy that you need to live with it, you Parkinson patients, you're using twice as many carbs, twice as much your energy, you know, you're burning twice as many calories because of what you need to function, okay? And the same thing, you caregivers that are working so hard, sometimes double time doing for yourself and then doing additional services for your loved one or necessities within the home that your loved one has difficulty doing. You're gonna get tired, and when you get tired, you got to stop.
Get grouchy.
You get grouchy because why? Because you become fatigued and you become irritable. When your body is tired, you gotta rest it. You gotta rest it. And even I watched Naomi yesterday, she was tired after a class. She said, let's just sit down for a minute, right? Well done. She didn't say I gotta lay on the back sofa back here for an hour and a half, or I'm not gonna do the class. She just wanted to rest for a minute. So you need to be real sensible with how you plan your day. How you plan your day, all right? If you have a big activity today, don't plan a big one tomorrow. Or if you've got something special that you want to do tomorrow night that matters to you, something with the grandchildren, something in the community, you got theater tickets or whatever like that, and take it easy tomorrow. Set yourself up for the fact that you're not going to be able to do it without the rest period. How many of you are sleeping at night? Okay, good. Pretty good? Okay. Sleep patterns for Parkinson's disease, it's one of the problems that you can have. I am going to have a talk in January as one of the 3-part series that we're going to do on sleep health. There's a lot of things that you can be doing to help you get a good night's sleep with Parkinson's disease. So I think Dr. Madden might be doing that one for us. So, but your need to sleep is very important. So don't take that cat nap between 6 and 8 and say, okay, I'm ready for bed at 10.
Yeah.
Common sense. Stay out of the recliner after dinner if you want to go to bed and retire at 9 o'clock at night and get through the night. Okay? All right.
Dr. Schumacher said yesterday, take a walk after dinner.
Yeah, is that what Jim said?
I'd like to do a half mile or something around the neighborhood.
Yeah, get some fresh air, relax, watch what you watch on television, watch what, turn off the cell phones,
I'll put you to sleep right away.
turn down the overstimulation. Always remember, my friends, that the senior body likes to have a cycle, it likes to have a routine. How many of you have a routine? How many of you have a routine? Yeah. I encourage you to try to have a routine. How many of you try to wake up at a certain time during the day? Yeah. That's your clock. You want to wake up at a certain time. You want to eat your breakfast at a certain time. How many of you are eating breakfast? Please, how about if everybody raises their hand now? Huh? Everybody in Maryland. Okay. So you want to have your nice nourishment. You want to have your activity. You want to try to consume your midday meal at a certain time. Plan activities, always have things to look forward to, okay? Because your goal is to stay tall, to be standing emotionally. And all of these things that you do, there's a lot of things that people say to me, Mara, I can't do this anymore, I can't do that anymore. What I'm here to tell you, I can tell you 2 for 1 of the things that you can be doing, all right? What are some things that you can be doing for yourself for quality of life? And for a better life today. That's the goal of Parkinson Place. Everything that I do strives to give you a better life today. So what can you be doing to give yourself a better life today? And whose job is it?
Coming here.
Coming here. Whose job is it to give you a better life today?
Ours.
Yeah, it's your ownership.
My job.
This is your life. This is your precious life. Without it, you have nothing. All right, all comes around. This is my precious life. I am worthy. I am deserving. I have esteem. I'm going to do everything that I possibly can to take the best care of my body and my mind. That's your job. All right? So what are you doing? Pete, you're over on the order?
I have something else I was going to, on the same subject. It surprises me how many people, or how long it was before I heard the importance of food and diet for.
Yes.
And nobody ever told me that in 18 years until within the last week. People would say, don't eat protein around the time you're taking your medication, a half hour before, half hour after.
Right.
Milk, I had no idea milk was one of the worst things we could take. It's soy protein.
Yeah. We're gonna do a whole, really nice morning on nutrition. You know, you are what you eat. How many of you are really trying to, what I say, control the hand that feeds you? Right? How does that food, I know, how does the food get from the table, from the plate, into this little 2-inch opening? Right? And who controls this action? Am I going up and say, Fern, look what I have for you, I have a chocolate brownie and I want you to eat it. Right?
Not about controlling the quality of life if you can get your food together.
Yeah, so you can control, and I always simply say, go back to self-worth again, pick up the food and say, what's in it for me? What's in it for me, all right? If it's preservatives and sugar and chemicals and empty calories, why eat it? You'll get over it. The problem is everything that tastes good is loaded with salt and sugar. Or fats, or deep fried, or something happens when they do all that stuff to it. But you pick it up and say, what's in it for me? If I have fiber, if I have vitamins and minerals and healthy, good, fresh foods, then eat it. You deserve it, because if you eat it, you're going to give the body the fuel that it needs. No matter what you do, you need fuel to do it, right?
Right.
You don't put gas in your car, what happens?
Stops.
It stops, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's the same thing for your body, all right? So the fruits and the vegetables, all right, minimize your red fat and your red meats and your fats. How many of you really are trying to give your body what it needs from a nutritional standing? Yeah, Naomi, you want to tell Naomi's got a new diet going on.
Well, I also have a change in it. I'm doing and it's these little kind of movements that make things possible. If you try to get quickly a vegan in a million years, you won't get it.
Yeah, well, change is made how? Was change made in one giant step? Change is made with a lot of little mini steps. This is why people become overwhelmed and they fail, because they feel like, oh, I'm going to take one giant step and be there.
And you fall in the mud.
And then you fall down, and then you fail, and then you give up. But and the other thing too is to take one giant step, you got to be strong and confident and focused. And usually when you're making a change, it's because you're not those things, okay? So if you just say, okay, I'm just going to try, and just do little mini steps, you know, you don't have to, some women will say, okay, I'm not going to eat any more of this, right? Why deny yourself? You eat half as much, a third as much, see what I'm saying? And what Naomi's doing is behavior modification, slowly, that works for her. She's setting herself up her own way for success.
Our kids in Israel decided to take me on as a project. Because they're in veganhood.
Healthy.
Yeah.
And they're very healthy and happy, and they said they're going to get me in the same position. But
There
I'd
you
like
go.
to be healthy and happy as possible.
Healthy and happy.
Good goals.
Yeah.
Sounds
It's
like
great
a-
goals.
So
That's
I-
great goals.
So I get
Sounds like
a
Wolverine.
phone call or an email every day.
Huh.
They want to know what I did, how did I enjoy it, if I didn't enjoy it, what else could I eat?
So they're working you through. See stepping stones with somebody, step by step and hand in hand. So you have a huge resource in
And a
those
huge
children.
family.
Huh?
We got a huge family.
That's what I'm
They're all
hearing.
signed up.
There you go.
You're gonna get nagged to death.
That's fine. How many of you really control your lifestyle? What is your lifestyle? What drives your lifestyle?
What season? Football, baseball?
There you go.
hockey?
I was going to say, this will be an interesting thing. Hockey, yeah, what's on the big screen that day?
Ray's got four
Yeah.
in a row.
We talked together to plan things that we enjoy, that Brad can do comfortably.
Most everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And see, that's a real good thing.
Things that we
Cheryl
both
was having.
enjoy.
That you find things that you both enjoy and that you both can accomplish. And this is very important for caregivers to understand that your role, or at least through my eyes, my belief is that the role of someone that loves someone with a Parkinson's disease is to promote their esteem and their dignity. You know, that's the role of a caregiver. It is not the mundane, simple things of, I can't cut the grass anymore, so my wife has to do it, or, you know, she can't do this in the kitchen anymore, so I'm going to do it, blah, blah, blah. It's not. It's what can you do to promote the positive sense of self in the person that you love with Parkinson's disease, all right? So just like Lynn said, we become tolerant, we become acceptable. You have to bend with the breeze. You know, if you're standing there like this saying, this is going to be this way, you're going to forget it because you will fail at everything. But your ability to accept and to tolerate and to modify and to find a way, okay, is the only way that you're going to walk the rest of your life with this disease. If you stand up against it, refusing to change, if you stand up with a lack of tolerance, the other thing too is for you to accept, you need to understand. That's why we work so hard, you know, helping you to understand what's going on with you. And this is why certain things are going on with you. This is why you are the way you are. This is the way that this is why you feel the way that you feel. And that you have to understand that everything that you feel is totally acceptable. You're totally unique. So if you have a time that you're not feeling the highest level of esteem, of confidence, of worthiness, it's okay, think it for a minute, don't make it a lifestyle. You're no different than anybody else, but just focus on, this is who I am, this is what makes me great, and this is what I can do for my loved one and for the people that cross my path during the course of the day, right? Pete?
Deb's real good about, if I can't do it then, she'll let me rest a little bit, then I get back on and I can go finish this task. So she really knows I'm not going to be 100% all the time, so she just lets me finish it. She won't go ahead and do it for me.
I think it's important just to do the best you can, and I know for the first few months after Brad was diagnosed, we were told just focus on breathing. You just breathe, and just
Breathing's good.
breathing is good.
That's
Yeah,
good to start with, yes.
and just enjoy being. You know, it's like stop focusing on what you're gonna do.
Constant grasp at the time.
Because you're used to like filling your day with things to do.
Well, I
but
told
just
Barry
don't
to
be
do
hard on
more.
yourself.
Right, just take it easy, right?
Exactly, it's all good.
Well, you know, Parkinson Place is also good in one respect. Everybody that comes here with that diagnosis finds out, I am not alone. I'm not the only one stuck with this.
Yeah, that's a good feeling, isn't it? Because isolation is very big with so many diseases out there.
Right.
And you feel unique, and you feel like I'm the only one living with it, and I'm different, I'm alone, and you tend to isolate, which is the worst thing for you, because you isolate, you lose your life, you lose this day, and all the nice things and the nice people that you could fill it with. Okay, so the Parkinson Place, I think, has done a good job as kind of being a haven. I want it to be like your home away from home. Just come hang out, be who you want to be. There's no boundaries for you here, you know, and there's no expectations for you here. You can come and do exactly what you're able to do that day. Okay.
I think you underestimate one of your best classes, and that's the caregivers class. I think caregivers need the help as much as we do.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm bringing that up, and it was, I do too. I think that the dynamic of caregiving is huge, and there's almost like an etiquette to caregiving, you know, an etiquette to caregiving, because the role of the caregiver is to make a positive contribution in the life of your loved one, right? And you can't give away what you haven't got. Am I right? So if you don't have a positive mood, if you don't have a sense of appreciation, you know, I always try to explain to caregivers that you want to have the ability, the beautiful ability to really get behind the eyes of your loved one. What does that mean? You can't take care of someone, you can't meet someone else's needs unless you understand or try to understand through the act of empathy.
The
You
same
know,
thing as walk a mile in my shoes.
walk a mile in my shoes.
Amen.
Yeah, and it comes really, really close, because a lot of you have beautiful marriages. I mean, all of you. Come to think of it, I don't have one member whose marriage is on the rocks. That makes me very happy, right? You're all getting along so well. What's that? Saying, the etiquette of caregiving, and you know, your ability to be gracious and to be loving, and the way that you speak with someone. You know, if you want to gift your loved one with esteem and with confidence, you know, you speak to them kindly, and you motivate them, and you promote them. You set them up for success. You can't do it, okay, don't do it, I'm doing it. That's not right, all right? You give them the time, you give them the resources, you give them the communication, the guidance, and the motivation and the support, you know, to allow them to complete the task at hand. Because the need to be physically and emotionally dependent takes a direct hit on your sense of esteem. You know, well, the more we can do for ourselves, the more independent that we are, the bigger and the braver that we feel about ourselves. I stand up to one and say, oh, look what I did today, yippee, aren't I great? But if I can't do it, all right, I need to reach out and humble myself, please help me, I can't do this by myself anymore, can really lower a human being's sense of confidence and esteem, all right? So the need of the caregiver to provide the positive note, but a lot of times caregivers aren't feeling all that positive, so I always say always generate a double dose, because you're going to have to give half of it over to your loved one, honey bunny, to keep him up, and so you're going to keep yourself up at the same time. There's a partnership. My patients, you know, it is, I look to you, I encourage you, and more love and appreciation and support and kindness and good words and acts of affection that you give your loved one, the better your life is going to be, and the better you're going to feel about yourself. How many of you do that? What do you do for him? Except hold his hand every minute. I've never seen two people hold hands so much. Right? She doesn't move without knowing where he is. Right, Charles? And how many years you been together? 34 years, still holding hands. Right? And these two are winning that contest for most kisses in here. All right, hugs and kisses. No reason, no, we'll just give them a kiss. No reason at all. What are the rest of you doing? Because I'm watching. You two just laugh and have a good time and go out to eat. Right? Enjoy yourself, enjoy each other, good for you. And share the same priorities. And the same dreams, and that's big too. That's huge.
That's where we're different. We're married 55 years. What I enjoy, she doesn't.
Okay, nothing
We're
about
totally different.
that's okay.
Opposites attract.
Works better that way.
Totally different. Music, sports, no.
So how come you're so happy together?
He's got one TV and I have
There
another.
you go. Perfect solution, right? And who says you gotta do everything together? I can't even imagine doing it. I don't know. But see, she has her life, he has his life. They have a beautiful marriage, and when they get together, it's terrific, right? Okay. So how do you stay feeling good about it? Barry, what time is it? I never had Johnny answer what time it is.
6 minutes.
Okay. How do you maintain your esteem?
I think it's really good to take time to recharge.
Yeah.
Especially to recover from, like, if you have a crisis or really intense day, to take a time just to recharge and do whatever makes you feel good and rested. And,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's reading or whatever, artwork or.
It's a huge factor in wellness. You know, the human body and the human spirit needs time to rest, recover, and rejuvenate. So even if you think I should be doing this or I want to be doing this, if your body is sending a signal physically or emotionally, please take time to, would you say rejuvenate or recover?
Recharge.
Recover, recharge. You know, you can't keep driving, you can't keep pushing, because what's gonna happen, you're gonna go into overload, you're gonna go into stress, and your immune system's gonna bottom out, you're gonna get sick, right? You're gonna get negative, you're gonna get stressed, depressed, and out of control. So when your body is sending you messages, I am tired, I am fatigued, just say, okay, enough. I need a day, 2 days, take as long as you need to feel good.
It's good to do that regularly so you don't get to the point.
You should do it every day. You
Or
know,
at least once a week. At least take a day a week.
Yeah,
I'll get this in my day.
you should take time every day to have a certain amount of time private to yourself. I call it me, myself, and I time. Me, myself, and I.
Or go on a cruise.
That you can, so we're still selling cruise tickets, aren't we? If you're not cruising yet, you gotta cruise with me. We're looking forward to it. A great group of people going. But you have to just simply say, I just need time to do what I call just be. Just sit there and, right, just be. You can do it anywhere. But designated time.
Nice out by the pool, so you know.
What's that,
Nice
Fred?
and out by the pool. you know.
Yeah, by the pool, on your front porch, in your favorite chair, and cue your loved one and simply say, you know what, I need a little space here. You know? When I was raising my kids that were all very active, I used to say, I need 10 minutes, I will be locked in my closet with a Snicker candy bar. Do not come in.
You told them about the candy bar?
I cued them. Oh, I had Snickers hid all over the house. Yeah, I cued them. I'm like, leave me alone if you want to live. All
There you
right?
go.
Because I had it, and I just needed a little time, you know? So take it. Take whatever you need to stay happy and to stay healthy, Stay happy and stay healthy. Because if you're not healthy, it's tough to be happy if you don't feel well. All right? So your health, your optimal health, and you're all doing it because we're teaching it, exercise and positive state of mind, and what else are we doing? Nutrition, okay? Counseling, anything that you need, all right, for optimal health, not perfect health, optimal health, and emotional well-being, a sense that it's okay, a sense of peace and balance. And even if you're going like this, you can maintain a sense of balance if you work on it, okay? Now, did this help you?
Yes.
Okay, I want you to look in the mirror, love what you see, sit down and do an exercise, what makes me great, what am I good at, and always at the end of the day, I try to do it every night, is I just simply say very privately to myself, okay, Mara, what'd you do today to make the world a better place? Okay? If you can say the simplest little thing, then you matter.
Your own world or the entire world?
Oh, forget the entire world.
Think your own world. I tried to find that.
That's a good
question.
point. I don't know, my little world, the people whose lives I touched, or the people that I share it's my
No,
world.
yeah.
It's my world. What have I done to make my world a better place with the people that have been with me, or that matter to me, family, my Parkinson family is huge to me.
One of the nicest things that I get from different people is that my chocolate chip cookies are the best. So
You
my
gotta prove yourself,
grandkids
man.
know just how to make it. Our M&Ms are finished. Do you have chocolate chip cookies? I said,
I
"Yes,
didn't
get
know that you
M&Ms."
bake. Does she bake chocolate chip cookies?
Yeah, you got it.
Just like Connie cookies.
And it's just the fact that the kids take the trouble to call and say, you wouldn't have any cookies maybe, would you?
Aw, well, see, that matters. It makes you matter. Nobody that makes them like their grandmother. What do they call you?
Grandma.
Grandma. Nobody makes them better than grandma. Cheryl?
Tim makes a great apple pie.
There you go. I love apple pie. Maybe they'll let me have ice cream for Halloween, huh?
Maybe he'll make apple crisp.
Oh, I love apple crisp too. Anything with apples, that would be good.
You want to trade for chocolate chip cookies?
Now, you're doing the cookies, I'm gonna count on you. Okay, I hope this helped you, okay?
A lot.
I hope this helped you. Just realize how wonderful you are, because you are. You are wonderful people, and you should be very proud of yourself, because you're very brave, you're very courageous, you put on a positive face, and you get up and get out and share yourself with other people and with each other. So I commend you. Okay?